Hey Puddins, what is up? How is it going? I had to redo this meal prep video because I wasn't really happy with it. I had just a weird start to the meal prep, so I'm going to do it again for you guys. Let me sip on my water. Okay, so hope you guys can see me. Um, so today's video is going to be just all about meal prep 101. If you have any questions about meal prepping and stuff like that. Does it seem like it's really smoky up here? It doesn't seem like it here. Maybe it's just me tripping me. I don't know. Anyway. So if you have any questions, meal price, definitely feel free to ask because I will try to answer them to the best that I can. Now, y'all don't know okay, so the reason, let me start over because I tongue twisted over my words again. Okay, so the reason the meal prep is because I know that if I don't meal prep, that I'm not going to succeed with my weight loss. I'm at 198 right now, so this is right here is example of how successful meal prep is. Now, if you have, maybe you're, you stay at home, you work at home, or you're a stay at home parent, or something like that, or like you just stay at home period, then maybe you have time to cook all your meals, which is fine. You know what I mean? That's cool. I wish I could do that, but I have a full-time job that I have to tend to. So obviously a lot of people out there are very busy, whether they have a job or whether they just, they do a lot of running around or whatever. And I feel like meal prep will help you succeed if you're, a busy adult or busy person. I shouldn't say adult because like y'all teenagers and kids out there are pretty busy yourself, especially going to school and stuff. So I shouldn't just say that, but majority of the people on here are adults and they are interested in meal prepping. Okay, so I have already cooked up my ground turkey meat right here, so I just put it in a container and I'm gonna let it sit and cool down, and then I'm gonna put a lid on it and throw it in the refrigerator. So the way that I meal prep, there's multiple ways of meal prepping. This is the way that I do it. This is the easiest way for me. What I do is I meal prep all my meats, put them in a container, throw them in the refrigerator, and then pull them out each time that I want a meal, if that makes sense. For an example, like that ground turkey will be like a lunch, maybe eating it with like, I don't know, some veggies and some potatoes, maybe even some rice. I don't personally eat rice, but I'm just saying like that's something that you could do. As far as like dinner, I usually don't eat a whole lot of carbs at night. It's why, like, here's my dinner. I had a steak and some asparagus, which I just left them over here to just chill. They're still kind of warm, so it's not like they're going to go bad like within like the hour that I'm cooking. So that's why I'm leaving them there. But the best thing about me cooking that, because it was like huge piece of like, I don't know what kind of steak it was. I think it was like a sirloin, like big long piece. It's huge. Let me go ahead and put my hamburger meat on the stove because my whatchamacallit is starting to fall. Or starting to heat up, not fall. What am I talking about? I just got hamburger juice all. Oh Lord. There's a lot of juice on that thing falling out. Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, I don't remember what I was saying. Help me out, guys. Where I was saying that I think put my hamburger meat. So this is actually pounds of hamburger meat that I'm currently putting on in my pan. I usually just cook everything in one pan, like everything that I'm like prepping. I usually cook all the same. And I know that sounds really crazy and really stupid and silly and dumb, but for me, I don't like dirtying up a whole lot of dishes. So like, this is all like meat. So it's not like I'm putting vegetables in here. Now, if I did vegetables, obviously it'd be in a different pot or meat. Um, but anywho, as I was saying, a little garlic on here, a little salt. Um, yeah, the reason I do it this way, or the reason I just cook all the meats is because honestly, like it's easier for me to just thaw out all the meats one day, maybe while I'm going to the gym on Sundays, and then come back later on when it's fully cooked or fully thawed out, and then just cook it all in a matter of like an hour. And I'm kind of a lazy person when it comes to meal prepping. I don't like to do a whole lot of stuff. Now before, like when I first began, obviously I was like cooking every single freaking meal. Like it was crazy. And I realized that I don't like my scrambled eggs like reheated. That's something that I learned along the way. But you know, when you start meal prepping, you know, you're going to be trial and error for probably a couple of months, you know. You're going to realize, oh, this doesn't work for me, but this other thing, you know, this other way is going to work better for me. So, like, maybe what I'm doing is not going to work for you, and maybe, you know, a different way is. And you could always, you know, there's plenty of people on the internet that's going to show you how they do it, show you ingredients, the meal prep ingredient or recipes, you know what I mean? But for me, I'm pretty much basic. I think I kind of eat similar to like what bodybuilders eat in a way. I kind of cook, you know, my chicken. I eat turkey, ground turkey meat, hamburger meat, steaks, you know, and I just eat it with like a vegetable because I'm not a huge rice fan. Now, I'm going to talk a little. Right now, I'm going to, like, while I'm waiting on this to cook, I'm going to talk a little bit about some appliances, like small appliances that maybe you should consider getting. If you're on a budget, though, maybe save up your coin and get it. You can cook anything on your stove. Don't get me wrong, it's just going to be a little bit more of a hassle. What? Hold on. It's going to be more of a hassle. But I love crock pots. Crock pots has been my friend. I have one over there. If you eat rice, maybe a rice cooker. One second, let me see what she wants. What? I don't know. She's in the living room. She's in the living room. Okay. Right now. Sorry. My grandmother's asking my daughter. Running a she's running a fever when I got home, and then I checked her fever, and it wasn't dire for her to like go to the hospital for some time, and her fever kind of went down. So that was a good thing. I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep her out of school or not in the morning or not. We'll see how her temp is in the morning. Um, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh, appliances, rice cooker, a pressure cooker. Have you ever thought of? I don't personally. I don't think I would use a pressure cooker, but it might be convenient for you. Excuse me. Excuse me. You might want a pressure cooker. You know, just whatever. Now, your stove and your oven works just as well as these little small appliances. Now, if you maybe have a smaller kitchen, maybe it's best to have these smaller appliances. Um, or if you're like if it's kind of an inconvenience, you know, kind of situation, maybe. I know a friend who basically cooks his own meals out of crock pot and stuff. So, you know, because the situation, like he kind of lives in a, I guess it would be kind of like a hotel room, but not really. But where he stays at, he doesn't have a stove. He doesn't have, it's like any fridge and stuff like that, but he doesn't have like a stove or anything. So he has to do it like more of a, you know, in a smaller, compacted way. Which, I mean, it works. That's what I'm saying. Like, recommend, like, especially. Another thing that I recommend is a blender. If you ever get yourself like a single serve, you know, like 1 cup blender, that's a really good thing. I have one that I just purchased. Well, I've already used it. It's dirty, but you know, it's kind of like a like Ninja or a Bullet, but I got one for like 15 bucks. You know what I mean? Like, and you can get a crock pot for pretty cheap too. Like, I think you can go to like Family Dollar, and this is like that. You can get it for like under 20 bucks. So I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be like a really huge, fancy like crock pot. It could be just a basic one that works. Whatever. You know. Um, I'm not making chicken tonight because I already still have enough chicken for the week. I'm just making like my ground turkey and stuff that I ran out of. But if you do like chicken and stuff like that, you can put it, you can put it in the oven and bake it for, well, depending on if you like the sizing of your chicken, like, anywhere between like 20 to 40 minutes, depending on like what degree you want, stuff like that. And I mean, if you cook chicken before you know exactly how to do it, you're good to go. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing now is just kind of getting this to cook up, and it's taking a little longer, probably because it's not on a good amount of heat. Okay, so while it is cooking, I'm gonna still talk to you guys a little bit about some stuff. Okay, so another thing that I actually recommend is to get you some containers. You can get big, little, whatever sizing is up to you. This particular size is pretty good for like if you're trying to portion control, like your food and stuff like that. Also, I got those at like the Dollar Tree. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can find like a 3-pack, but normally they come in like 2 packs because they're made by Rubbermaid, so they're a little bit more. Um, they're a little bit more better quality than the Dollar Tree ones, but the Dollar Tree ones are pretty good as well, especially if you're trying to save your cooling up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being on a budget. I'm going to try do my best to do like a shop with me like on a budget. I thought about doing like a $50 challenge if you're interested in it, like where I go to the grocery store, I have $50 in my name and that's all I'm allowed to spend. It's going to be harder than it's going to be, but you know what I mean? I think I can do it. What do you think? You think I can do it? Comment down below if you think I can do the challenge or not. I might give myself $50, maybe 60. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. What the challenge will be. But I see a lot of these like fitness people doing like $50 like shop with me challenge type of thing. And I'm going to Aldi's because Aldi's is a really good store. If you don't have an Aldi's, then maybe try. I don't know what it will be in your area or not, but like majority of like I think a lot of people throughout the country has them. I know there's a few states and cities that don't necessarily have it. The closest one is probably like miles away, but maybe you have a better store that's cheaper. I don't know. The Aldi's is really good, but I'm gonna go there and shop. I'm gonna actually give you some tips and tricks along the way, so that if you are going to shop there, what to expect. I don't cook up rice. I don't eat rice, but you can, obviously cook rice on your stove, or if you have a rice cooker, then you could do it there. That's up to you, whatever you want to do. Also, another thing is, like when you buy like your like stuff like your rice and stuff like that, like I get like these big thing of oats, and sometimes depending on if it's the summer, like back in the summertime I used to make like overnight oats and stuff like that, and it was really good. Like it was really good for me. It was what is it? It was very different compared to hot oatmeal, but it was also nice because it was hot, and you're not cooking up a whole lot of foods. Other things that I would eat is like salads, vegetables. I would buy the frozen vegetables. Easier. What you do is you grab your meat, throw it in a container, put some frozen vegetables in there, and then when you get to work, pop it in the microwave. There you go. You know what I mean? It's easy, nice and easy. You know what I mean? But I mean, milk does not have to be hard, and it doesn't have to take all day as well. It's just super, super easy. Especially if you don't have time, unless you're a parent or like you know, you do most of your running around on your days off and stuff like that. You know. Also, another thing is plan out your grocery day too, like your grocery shopping day. Like for example, like I will grocery shop the day before, or I'll grocery shop like the day after I meal prep. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's true. Just mainly because like I have a bunch of meats in my freezer already, so I don't have to like shop for meat. So really, the only thing I'm going out to get is like vegetables and like more like tuna and stuff like that. And oh, speaking of tuna, this um these little packages of tuna are going to be like, if you're not a huge tuna fan, then obviously you wouldn't be doing this. But like, go get you these packs of tuna or cans of tuna. You can do cans too. I prefer the pack of tuna because literally all you do is rip it open and eat it out of the packaging. Or you can mix it in with like a salad, or you can mix it in with like some vegetables, like kind of like a tuna stir fry kind of thing. I'm telling you, I like this sweet and spicy and the lemon one. And another thing is get you a lunchbox. Like get you one of these like insulated cooler lunchbox thing. They're gonna be your I'm just letting you guys know that, okay? I got that one at the $5 for like, I think I spent like $6 on it. So I mean, you can find pretty cheap ones. You can go to Walmart, they got some for like probably cheaper than that. I'm not sure if the Dollar Tree has any or not, but you can go there and look and see. But you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You don't have to go get you a really nice Yeti cooler type one from the sports store. You can just go to the local dollar store. I'm telling you guys, like you'll be freaking impressed by what the dollar stores have in store, especially like Family Dollar and the Dollar General and stuff like that, and the Dollar Tree. You'll be shocked. Another thing is like your water. Buy you a water bottle that you like. It doesn't have to be a really nice one like those Hydro Flask or anything. It could just be like a cheap dollar store one. Bring it with you everywhere. You know, when you like another thing, if you take supplements like protein and like BCAAs and stuff like that, put them in Ziploc bags. Take them on the go, especially if you know that like you're going straight from work to the gym. It'll help you out. I'm telling you. I'm giving you okay. Also, buy yourself like, especially if you take like pill form supplements like multivitamins, vitamin C, zinc, any of the vitamin B's. Let's say you take that, get you a pill container. You can get them at the dollar store, and just put every the night before, put all the vitamins and supplements in there, and just go. I'm telling you, it's going to be easy. You're not going to forget to take them. I'm telling you. Now, breakfast, I'm going to talk a little bit about breakfast. This is like kind of an iffy thing. It just kind of depends on what you prefer to do during breakfast or for breakfast. If you like more of like a full cooking meal, then obviously you can probably get away with like, you'll have to wake up early, of course. But for me, sometimes my breakfast is on the go. Like, I usually just grab a yogurt, or I usually, make me overnight oats, or I will just make oatmeal in general and just throw some like frozen fruits or something in it and cinnamon and a little bit of liquid sweetener in it. But I'm telling you straight the heck up, like you're gonna be like, once you start meal prepping, it'll get easier over time. The first like couple of times that you do it, it's gonna be like a real bitch, but it's gonna get easier and easier and easier. Don't give up on it because just because it's taken hours and hours and hours and hours on end. It'll start getting quicker and quicker as the more you like do it. Like literally, I started this at like 8:30 and it's 9:30 right now, and I've gotten my hamburger meat, or I got my hamburger meat, and I got my ground turkey meat already done, and the only thing I gotta do is my my burgers. You want a bed, baby? You want to go swim more? No. You still feel bad? I got you. So anyway, like I say, like I only have one more meat to do, and Literally, that is all that I gotta do besides like actually putting these in the refrigerator and find a spot in the refrigerator. That's all. And another thing is clean out your refrigerator. I know that sounds silly, but like definitely clean out your refrigerator and rotate your food. Like that's gonna help you out because if you, let's say for an example, you're meal prepping, but you still have, let's say you have 2 containers of food left. Put those up front. Put the ones that you just made in the back. That way you're just rotating. You have fresh food, or your food's not going to waste, and you're wasting your money. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's just something that I learned because I work in fast food, and I've like majority of my life. Sorry, I'm going off camera, but I am going to drain my meat. Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't fall. Okay. So that's done. I gotta get a bigger container though. Let's see. This is the struggle that I have is like finding like big enough containers and stuff. I have a bunch of containers, and you would think that like I would have I would have lids. My lids go more than anything in the world. Ooh, where's my big containers at for these? Any bigger ones? Okay. Don't know where these bad boys went to. This is struggle is real. Okay, I'll be fine. I'll be fine, y'all. Goodness gracious. Okay. Oh shit. Don't fall, please. Thank you. Okay. So next I'm gonna do this, which is these like lean hamburger meats. Sometimes I'll do like turkey burger, turkey meat, turkey burger. Sometimes I'll do like veggie burgers. Sometimes I'll do, just kind of depends on like what I'm feeling uh, for the week. Like, so I'm just gonna do regular ones because I like to put these on like these like sandwich thin breads, which look like that. And I'll have it for like a lunch, I'll have this for lunch, and I might have like some guacamole and like a handful of chips or something. I don't try to OD on carbs, okay? And it can be hard, you know. I like carbs. I've always liked carbs, but when you're trying to like lose weight, sometimes the carbs are not your friend, unfortunately. So I'm just using the same seasonings as I did with my hamburger meat and my turkey meat, which is just lemon pepper, garlic powder, and some Himalayan pink salt. Look how big these things are. Look how thick they are. They are thicker than my thighs. Thicker than my thighs, y'all. I'm not saying something here. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was like, oh. Okay. Put a little salt. Now, if you're like cooking potatoes or like if you got fresh veggies, which there's nothing wrong with getting fresh veggies. I mean, I do it all the time. You might want to prep them as well while you're doing this. Like if I had like, let's say for an example, if I had like sweet potatoes, I would obviously have them in the oven while I'm cooking. It's all about multitasking too. Like you gotta know that like while you're cooking your burgers or you're cooking your meat, you're gonna have things in the oven as well, or you're gonna have stuff in the crock pot or in your rice cooker or whatever. So it's all about multitasking as well. I don't think I have any potatoes or anything like that. I need to get some sweet potatoes. I've been craving sweet potatoes here lately, so I need to get some of those. And I learned today, thanks to my coach Melvin, hi Melvin if you're watching, that sweet potatoes have less sugar, surprisingly, than regular potatoes. I was like, really? Like, I didn't know that.
He might have told me it, and I just like it just like slipped my mind or whatever. But you know, there's a pack of Pop Tarts over here. I haven't seen them, and I'm like, oh, that looks really good. But I'm like, no, girl, resist. Okay. So, I only have 4 of these, like turkey burger things, or turkey burgers. 4 of these burger patty things. So, so I don't have to worry about it. And usually these, I'll have these in the refrigerator. I probably won't eat them every single day. I'll have them like every now and then because I like variety, you know. So, yeah. Let's see. I can't think of anything else that I want to tell you guys. Like, yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Yeah, I'm going to actually just put these in these little containers. My hamburger. Okay. Don't fall to the ground, please. I feel like I'm out of breath, but at the same time I'm not out of breath because I've got a lot of energy right now. One, two, no room. Okay, so I made um I separated them in like 3 containers. That underneath that I put up. Another lid. Another lid. Oh, wow. Sorry. I got another lid. Come on. Yay. I have another one over here. Okay. So, all in all, meal prepping is all about multitasking, all about obviously eating healthy, getting the right nutrients in. It's also about trying to succeed in your weight loss journey or in just your health in general. Um, go ahead and season this side. It's all about, it does take time, it does take a little bit of your coin. It takes patience. Trust me on that. I've had a lot of, I've been very impatient sometimes when I'm doing my meal prepping. Um, it will be a journey for you because you're going to be basically playing around and seeing what foods work for you. For me, that was what I had to do. I had to realize, like, okay, like, chicken, turkey meat, tuna. Literally, those are the bases. And then I have, like, red meat, obviously, but not, you know, not as crazy. But anyway, I hope this, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I'm going to try to do, like, a Aldi's grocery shopping video. And yeah. I hope that you liked this video. I hope this was informational. If it wasn't, then let me know. And if you have questions, then comment down below and let me know what your questions are. Ask me, feel free to. Don't be scared. And like I always, if you're new here, subscribe, obviously. And like I always say, whether you're dressed up, dressed down, you're beautiful. Bye.